little brow gel kind of brush spoolie on the one end, and it does have little fibers, so if your brows are kind of sparse, it has those little fibers in there that'll help kind of fill in your brows, but it's also very, very pigmented and very creamy, so you can actually kind of like draw it onto your skin where you don't have any brow hairs, and it fills in really nicely as long as you go back in with another spoolie or another kind of brush and kind of brush it through a little bit so it doesn't look kind of, it can look kind of splotchy a little bit if you just apply it straight from the tube, but if you blend it all out, it looks super, super good, and it's not too warm. That's one thing that I have an issue with a lot of brow products, especially for me personally, is that sometimes they are a little too red for me. Even though my hair has a little bit of red in it, I don't like my brows to have that color, so this is a very nice cool tone brown that works super, super well for my brows in particular. On the other side, it has a little highlighty dude. This is just a retractable highlighter kind of pencil deal. It is a little bigger than your regular old, like, waterline pencil or any other kind of pencil. It's a mix between like a NYX jumbo pencil and a regular pencil. It's kind of somewhere in between there. It does have shimmer to it, but it has a really nice kind of white gold champagne-y kind of color. I don't even know if you can see it there on my hand, but it's not waterproof by any means. You can blend it out and it kind of blends away to nothing, so that end of it isn't that super awesome, but I do enjoy using this on like the inner corner section, and it doesn't give too much shimmer to your brow bone if you do want to use it as a brow bone highlight. It's not too shimmery for that, but like I said, it's not going to last you all day long, but the brow side is really the part that I love about this little guy. So this is called the Hard Candy Brows Now Brow Fiber Gel Plus Highlighter, and like I said, I have the color medium dark. Next is a new eyeshadow palette from Hard Candy. If you know, you've seen these kind of palettes before from Hard Candy. I had a couple. I had a brown one and a green one in this same kind of format. Those ones were called the Top 10 eyeshadows or something like that. These are called the Top 10 Trendsetters eyeshadows, and this one I have here is in Birthday Suit, and it's all matte, totally matte little palette, and it comes with a lot of different neutral colored eyeshadows, very, very neutral. It has plenty of highlight kind of shades if you enjoy using those lighter colors. Overall, this palette is okay. If you saw my review on the other top 10 shadows that Hard Candy had a couple years back, I wasn't a big fan of those. They were too shimmery. There were zero mattes in those palettes, but since they came out with this one that's totally matte, I'm really, really liking it. It's not the best quality thing ever. Some of them are a little chalky, a little powdery. They kind of kick up a mess. I don't know if you can see, but like in here I've got a little bit of a mess going on. Sometimes the shadows, especially with the light dark, not putting all the lights together and all the darks together, it can kind of create a problem if you get a little bit of dark into one of the light ones or something like that, so that's kind of an issue if you hate that kind of thing. But overall, I am liking this palette. It's not the best thing ever, like I said, but it is pretty nice. Some of the more medium tone ones, like these, this one here, this one, and this one, they're not as pigmented as I would like them to be. The darks are really nice. They're a nice deep color and they come off pretty well. And the lights, like I said, are a little powdery, but they do have a bit of pigmentation to them, so they're not totally horrible. It's kind of a hit and miss depending on which colors you're kind of looking at. I really, really love this one here, this kind of burnt sienna kind of color. It's a really, really pretty crease transitioning kind of shade, especially for the fall time. Overall, for $6, this is a nice little palette, and I definitely like it a lot better than all of those other shimmery ones that I've tried from Hard Candy. The last item from Hard Candy is a lipstick, and this one is called the Plumping Serum Lipstick, and the color is Idolized. And it's what I'm wearing on my lips today. When I saw it in the store, I kind of thought it was going to be a little more pigmented. It looked more like a matte lipstick, just in the packaging, without anybody touching it or using it or anything. It looked very matte and very intense, and just judging by the way that the actual product looked in the store, I thought for sure it was going to be a very, very opaque color, but it's actually pretty sheer. It is called a serum lipstick, so I understand that. It has a lot of moisturizing kind of effect to it. It is very comfortable on the lips, and if you know me, I hate any kind of lipsticks that are too matte and drying. I love the look of a matte lipstick, but I can rarely ever wear one more than like 3 hours without it totally bugging me. This is almost like a lip butter kind of formula, and it's very, very nice and super easy to wear, easy to touch up with. It's not too intense. It's a very nice kind of buttery lipstick. So now let's move on to these Flower Beauty products. I've got some brushes here. The total line had 3 or 4 more other brushes, but these are the only ones that I picked up. The other ones were kind of things that I already had and I didn't really feel that I needed or anything. I didn't have a large powder brush, so I picked up this one. It is a little bit flimsy, if you can see. You don't want something that's too dense to apply powder because you don't want it to kind of unsettle all the foundation and other like kind of damp and wet products, creamy products that are already on your face before you put on your powder. So I understand why it's not super dense, but for like the $12 or $13 that it cost me, I was expecting a little bit more of something to it. It's just kind of flimsy and not the awesomest kind of feeling to the brush. It does feel super, super soft. It's a very, very soft brush. It feels like very awesome. I really like the feel of it, but I was just expecting a little bit more for the price point. And for this little brush, this is the lip brush. I've stained mine. I used it with a Lime Crime Velveteen in a really dark red color, and I'm pretty sure it's not coming out. I tried tons of different ways to wash it, and it wouldn't come out of these little bristles, but it's okay. I only have one other lip brush, and it's just a cheapo kind of little guy that is very thin and kind of flimsy, and I didn't really enjoy using it for doing my lip liner and stuff like that. But this little guy is actually a pretty nice lip brush. You could also use it on the inner corners, any kind of detail work on your eyes if you wanted to use it that way. A tiny, tiny little concealer brush or anything like that, but I've been enjoying using it as a lip brush. There's nothing bad that I have to say about it. It's a decent little lip brush. It was maybe $6 or $7, which is a pretty good price if you ask me for this little guy. It's not too flimsy, but it's not too stiff either. Sometimes if you're trying to run along your lip line, something too stiff is going to end up being more of a pain than it is helpful. So this one's a nice consistency, if you could call it that, between being flimsy and being stiff. So it's really nice in my opinion. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's a really nice size brush. It suits my lip size really well and I've been enjoying it. The interesting thing about these brushes is that they both have like flat bottoms, so you can actually stand them up on your counter if you don't want to like stick them into a cup or something. So that's kind of interesting, something I haven't seen from a lot of brushes. However, I don't know if you really want to stand up these skinny tiny ones, because if you just like barely tap your desk, they're all going to fall over. But this big old sturdy bottom kind of brush sits really well all by itself on a countertop. So I've got one more little item to add in for you guys. These are the new Maybelline matte lipsticks. I picked up 3 of them. I found them at my local Target. I haven't been able to find them anywhere else around me, so go check out your Targets if you're having an issue finding these guys. There were several of them still in stock. A couple had sold out, but I picked up 3 of them here today, and I've got some swatches on my hand for you too. First one here is Craving Coral, and it's a really pretty neon corally orange. It seems more orange in the tube, but on my hand it looks like a very, very neon coral kind of color. Right here in the middle is Lust for Blush, and it's just a really pretty mauve-y kind of pinky toned, very neutral, very wearable, a nice pretty fall kind of color, I think. And the last one down here is Touch of Spice, which is also a great fall color. It's a brownish mauve-y, little bit of a purple in there, but definitely more redder. I don't know exactly how to describe it. I hope you guys can see it well enough on camera, but it's a very, very pretty, very nice color for the fall time. I'm definitely going to be loving this one for the fall time. These all applied very creamily just on my hand. I mean, I just got them today. I haven't even played with them on my lips or anything, but on my hand they went on super pigmented. One swipe down and one swipe back was all I did on these swatches right here, and they were very, very creamy, especially these 2 more mauve-y ones. The orangey colored one was a little, it looks a little more streaky, a little less pigmented as the other 2, but like I said, I haven't tried them out yet, so don't take my word for it. Don't like judge them based on just the swatches right here. But these 2 ones went on super, super very creamy. Like they feel like they're gonna be really, really nice. And looking at them in the tube, they look kind of funky. Like they look like they're gonna be super dry, super matte, uncomfortable lipsticks. But I haven't tried them out yet. Judging by the swatches, I think I'm really gonna like them though. So I just thought I'd throw these guys in there just in case you guys were wondering if you hadn't been able to find them. I found them at the Target just in case you guys are really, really needing them. And I only picked up the 3 just because a couple of them were like very nudie kind of colors, and I don't really wear a lot of nudes, honestly. I'd like to have prettier pop of color kind of colors. And these are all pretty unique colors. I don't think I have anything in my collection quite like them. Maybe this Lust for Blush is kind of similar to some things that I have because it has that bit of pinkiness to it. But the other 2 are very unique as far as my collection is concerned. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this little recap on a couple new drugstore beauty products. If you tried any of these products, let me know down in the comments below. I want to know what you guys have to say about them, if you like them, if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me. Just let everybody know what your experience with them is down below. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys really soon. Bye!